The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, I guess Mr. Deputy Supervisor Luna was not here, so dear Lord, may you bless this assemblage and make all our decisions fair-minded and objective. Thank you. Okay, my best remembrance of what he says. Yeah, was it close?
Brief is wonderful.
All right, so we're going to call the public hearing on the budget to order. Can I get a motion to bring this meeting to order? Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the meeting of the public budget of the town of Rye has been called to order. Are there any comments from the public? Okay, Mr. Nowotnik and Mr. Byrnes, you want to sort of take us through this? Take the people at home through this?
I made extra for anyone who wants.
Wonderful.
I'm not rushing you.
Yes. Okay. Yep. The preliminary budget, just to talk about timetable, the tentative budget was submitted to the town clerk and submitted to the board. That is the record now. The preliminary budget that will need to be revised and finalized and adopted, and the adoption of the budget is scheduled for the December 17th board meeting. So from now until that time, we can get comments back to the board.
What's the date by which we have to have it finalized?
December 17th.
And actually, it's the same day?
That's the same, yeah, right.
So it's a Tuesday, the 17th is a Tuesday.
The 20th is the final.
That's what I said, the 20th, that's all. Okay.
Right, the 17th is board meeting, and typically we have adopted the budget at the last board meeting in December. So, what you have in front of you is the preliminary budget, which is a working copy for the board to make comments on. As it's submitted right now, the appropriations for 2014 are $2,896,080, which is a $209,030 decrease from the appropriations of the 2013 adopted budget, and that's a 6.7% decrease in appropriations.
And where are we generating those cost reductions? Principally?
They're pretty much across the board. There are some labor reductions, some operating as it relates to the building. There is a piece in here, for example, that ties to the relocation of the town offices to 222 Grace Church
Well, I
Street.
see one big one, right? Assessment?
Assessment is $67,000.
67?
Oh, yeah, and that's the elimination of the inspections, the
Now,
house inspections.
Have you had it, Denise, have you made that decision? Is that a definitive decision? You made a final decision on that? You just help us walk through the public at home. You want to come up and just tell us a little bit, how you came to that decision? Explain the rationale for that decision. That is one of the biggest cost reductions this year, obviously. Come on up and for those of you at home, we started off when we took office with a $4 million budget. Now we're down to 2.9. We inherited a $4 million budget. Now we're down to 2.9, so about 30% reduction in expenditures. That's unheard of. I mean, how was Peekskill doing? How much was their reduction?
Maybe they're eliminating more staff. I don't know.
But they're obviously all going up. There's not one municipality in all New York State that's had 30% reduction in expenditures. And we want to congratulate Town Clerk Vespia for all of her hard work in making that happen. Her contribution. But so Denise, what was it? So just the $67,000. Just for everybody to remember. It was, we were doing physical inspections of the residential properties over the course of 6 years, and it cost $670,000, I'm sorry, 6 times 67. So whatever that is, about $400,000 over 6 years as part of the ongoing reval efforts. But we had some concerns about whether or not, how much access they were getting, how much additional information, how good the information was, and but obviously as one of the first things you coming in, we'd ask you to take a look at that, and ultimately you concluded.
Yes, I concluded that that could be eliminated. We can satisfy the state's requirements for cyclical reassessment in other ways. Our own inspections of homes that have just sold or for building permits will count towards that total each of the 6 years. We also will now have access to brand new county aerial imagery, which we can use to satisfy the inspection requirement. If we view a property from the aerial photo and measure 2 sides or the entire building, that counts as an inspection.
Excuse me before I forget, they've never paid us our money back, have they?
No, they have not.
Okay, would you send a nasty letter to newly elected County Executive Astorino and newly elected County Legislator Gelfarb? I'm sure to copy me on it and copy Denise on it.
Right.
And that's an IOU, and we want
Yes.
it, and we should get those monies. So just so you're aware, we did benefit, we actually went ahead before the county did that aerial photography as we did our reval last time. And the county, and Dave, who's Dave Jackson's the other person that would be aware of this. So they committed to reimburse us what we paid for that, so we need to get those monies. Sorry, I had to interrupt.
So
So is this new updated even better than what we did before?
Yes, in fact, the guidelines said that we could use New York State GIS clearinghouse photography. So in looking at that, I called Dave Jackson and Sam Ware from the county GIS department, and I said, are our aerial photos for the county a part of GIS clearinghouse? And they said no, but we just shot brand new images, and those can be used to satisfy the inspection requirement. Yeah, so that worked out really, really
Wow,
well.
fantastic.
And there's also talk with SDG about possibly getting tablets and using those tablets for every time we go out in the field, collecting data, and that will count. So the more we can get involved with the technology, that will really help us
Fantastic.
for a very nominal fee.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Do we have information about how, I think the reason this conversation even came up is because we weren't quite sure how well the in-house inspections, what were they finding? It was pretty close to what we were determining through our existing form of assessment. Did we do a
You
study
mean
to
the
see on the
vision,
ones that
what-
they did have access to?
I haven't, and I need to find out exactly what they've inspected, so we do get credit for that, and then what the determination was. I believe there was a study that found there were X number of homes with an extra bathroom and other things, but it wasn't huge. But I will take.
Because part of the reason we decided to go ahead with in-house inspections was to satisfy the public concern that we didn't have accurate information using visions technology. And I just want to make sure that we're not going to have that
I think that's
vision
an
is
excellent
100%,
question.
as they originally went into it, saying that, using their aerial photography and the different forms of technology, the assessment that they were determining is accurate with or without the in-home inspection.
Right, and that's an excellent question, and exactly, you hit the nail on the head. And ultimately, my understanding, and what we need to just confirm the numbers, is they didn't gain access to much more than 50%.
Exactly. That's what I
Less
wanted to
than
make
50.
sure.
Less than 50.
That our technology as it stands is just as good
So
as
for the
in-house
cost benefit.
inspection.
The
Exactly.
inventory that we have is critical. I mean, we could have the best camera programs in the world, but if we don't start with accurate data to begin with,
Right.
all the valuation tools are not going to make it work
Right.
properly. So we'll continue to work toward that. We can also very efficiently send out data mailers and ask the homeowner to tell us what's in your home, and a lot of people will respond.
No, I
to
think
that.
that's great. I just want to ensure that
Yep.
that
Yep.
our technology is
Great.
as good, if not better, than doing
Thank you.
the time spent.
Well, I just wanted to thank Denise for the town assessor Knauer for contributing that reduction in expenditure. So the big drop was assessment and any other big numbers?
Actually, in recreation, the reduction of some of the outsourcing contracts that we have, there was some reduction there as well. That was
Terrific.
significant, and just overall some reductions in costs for benefits and things like that. So with those appropriations, we also estimate the revenues to be somewhat higher for 2014.
Yeah, can you talk, I noticed the mortgage tax went up.
The mortgage
And
tax,
what, is that wishful thinking, or
that's
do we have some?
actually very wishful thinking based on reality of what's come in. So for 2013, we just had a discussion with Bishop. We anticipate the actual to be about $678,000
This year?
for 2013,
Yes.
and we budgeted 525. So there's some upside there.
Whoa,
And
Whoa.
Yes, our second half payment is scheduled. It's on the.
did you check with them, because
It's
they
on
made a
the
mistake
website.
before.
It's on the Westchester County agenda for tomorrow to be voted on. It's at $411,679, which is
Okay,
substantial.
but sorry,
yes, he did check.
you checked, and they told you they made the right calculations?
Yes, I even asked them. I told them I
And
thought the
do you have it
numbers-
from them in writing,
No.
Denise?
Today at the Assessors Association luncheon, Tim Idoni, the county clerk, provided us with some stats, and he said deed recordings are up, and I calculated they're up 19%
That's
from
about
last
right.
year.
Okay,
So-
great. All right, would you just coordinate, I need something from them in writing in view of the fact that we missed, one of the reasons we got ourselves into a bit of a hole is because the county mightily screwed up. And I don't want to have that happen again. And since that's our experience, could you just triple check? I understand
Yeah.
that we get something in writing from them and say that's because when they come back and try and claw back money next year, and I have it in writing, I'm going to tell them, we'll tell them that unfortunately those monies are not theirs any longer. Right?
All right, yeah,
Okay.
they have a website that we look at.
I want an individual that's employed by the county
Yep.
to put their job on the line and say,
All right.
you know what? We
Okay.
we stand by these numbers. Because they really put us in a hole, if you remember. That was a
Yes.
$100,000 difference we had to pay back in the worst financial year we had.
Okay.
So that's good news. So that's actually, so we're going to end up with 678 this year,
That's,
and we're projecting 650.
Right.
Good. Wow.
So,
All right. Maybe go back to a zero tax. We're on our way. The supervisor becomes eligible for a salary in a zero tax environment.
so in this preliminary budget is appropriate fund balance of $79,000, which is a substantial reduction from 2013 of $365. So the reduction in appropriated fund balance is $285,920. And the tax levy is currently sitting at a flat $300,000, which is about a $15,000 reduction from the tax levy in 2013.
Okay, so just to be clear for everybody at home, another year of really holding the line on taxes. Last year, we kept the taxes flat, right? In a difficult financial environment, remember we had to let people go last year. This year, we're keeping the taxes flat. Hopefully, that's a bit prudent. Hopefully, we'll be able to continue to go back to reducing taxes. We've brought them down slightly this year. And we're only going to use $79,000 of our very hefty fund balance down from about $250,000 usage last year. We'd actually budgeted more than that, right?
Yeah, we budget about $360.
So we budgeted $360 fund balance usage, and we're only going to use $2.
Yeah, we actually, it may be more beneficial with the sale of the garage. And as part of the comments, the narrative here, just to give you some basis for decision-making going forward to the adopted budget, which is talking about the sale of 10 Pearl Street. Because initially, the thought that that was going to take place and be finalized in 2013, so that's most likely going to be a 2000 positive influence on the 2014 budget. And then the decisions that come from that, also to be discussed, is employee compensation, merit increase, if any, kind, that decision. So there's a few decisions to
Now, again, the sale of the town hall is a one-off event, and so really shouldn't be taken up in our budget conversation, correct? It provides look, the town, I think you did the presentation, if not, we need you to have you do it again. Or I know we did it in the office, is that the town needs 100% fund balance.
pretty much, yes.
Right, because we're so unusual in that we have a $2.8 million budget now, and we have long-term receivables and that approach that, right?
Right. By the end of the year, there'll be about $3 million.
Right, and
Right.
they range from $3 to $4 million over the course of the year. So ultimately, we're out of pocket $1 million when it comes to October. We can't make our payments without reserving the debt. So you need that kind of cushion at the town. So it's highly unusual government in that sense, even though we're 100% fund balance. Every municipality give their right arm for that kind of fund balance once we've sold the town, the town hall. So, perfect. Any other questions from the council? Any questions from the community? Excellent. All right, Mr. Byrnes, thank you very much. Now, so we don't adopt anything tonight, do we?
No.
We just simply, this is presenting it to the public, letting them know what's going on, and then we will adopt it on the 17th. And in the meantime, comments, questions from both the public and obviously from the council, from the board, and then we will finalize.
Right, and as Hope's mentioned,
Please, sorry.
to keep the public hearing
We'll keep it open till the 17th. So we don't close it now? We'll just keep it open. All right. So we now open our formal meeting then for the evening. Okay, great. Wow, we're doing all this without town attorney Noni tonight. By the time he gets here, we'll be done.
Let's see if we can do that.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Chicago, what's that? Chicago Fire? Not tonight? All right, we got to get going. Okay, can I get a motion to bring the meeting to order? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So, any comments on the minutes from the October 15th or October 29th meetings?
Motion to accept the minutes.
From both. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public? Goldie's not here, she's late. We're going to whiz through tonight. Okay, I'm going to try and set a new record that Bill Villanova's going to find difficult to match.
We have 8
All right.
resolutions, he's going to set a new record.
Resolution A. Okay, Mr. Nowotnik.
Well, this is simply the annual request from the American Legion Post for...
How much are we looking at?
Well, they're asking for $1,000. That's typically been what we've given them.
And what does it go towards?
And that goes towards their Veterans Day ceremonies, which you attended.
Veterans Day or Veterans and Memorial Day?
Well, Veterans Day. There's a separate allocation for Memorial Day.
Now, first of all, if they spell the supervisor's name right, that always helps. I'm joking.
I was hoping you wouldn't.
That's nice. I'm joking.
Well, I don't know if you were aware that Howard Weiss is no longer with them. So they're struggling with the turnover.
I'm joking. I'm just So what are we looking? What does the money get spent on exactly?
Well, for example, they buy the wreaths that they place on the various memorials. They have their little collation event. If you go down to the post, they have food for the band and so forth, and for various dignitaries.
I think that included the luncheon also.
And right, the luncheon that's there.
On
Right.
Saturday,
There's a Saturday. There's a luncheon on Saturday. Oh, I didn't know that.
at the nights.
We have to ask the same question that we've asked about every
Yep.
other donation so far this year.
Yep.
And that is, what was this, how much did we give last year and the year before? Do we know, was it 1,000?
Pretty sure it was 1,500 in prior years.
Okay.
I don't actually have that line item here. Hang on a second, maybe I do.
Did the other municipalities donate to them as well?
I do not know.
I would love to do a study to see how much the other municipalities donate to all the various events that we also donate to. For
Yeah,
no other
be
reason
good.
than just comparison. I mean, the
Yeah.
budgets are significantly higher
Sure.
than ours.
Okay.
And if they're giving the same amount that we are, we might just have to.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think our
And I don't think
practice
it'll
this
weigh
year,
we certainly want to continue to help the community in every way possible, but just want to
well, there's a,
take a look.
yeah, I think it's certainly a fair for money question. And now we have, so we'd be at 750 on your numbers, Mr. Nowotny.
Yeah. From what I can see here, it appears that there was $1,000 in 2011. I can't seem to break out the number for 2012 here because it seems to be blended in. Yeah, it's blended in with the combined Veterans and Memorial Day expenses in 2012. In 2011, it was separated out. So I'm going to assume that it was either $1,000 or $1,500. It was certainly no more than $1,500. And I would think it was $1,000 in prior years.
So I thought it was 737. Oh. Sorry about that. I apologize. Well, look, I'm thinking 750 or 500, maybe 750 since the event's already occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I'd just like to keep it fair against all the other
Yep.
organizations and all the different celebrations that we've had. So we've unfortunately cut back the contribution by 50% to all the others, so we should
Right.
do the same.
We will try and get some background information for you before you finalize the budget for next year.
I think that'd be great.
In fact, actually, yeah, could you and Mr. Arcaro break out what we've done for July 4th, Columbus Day, Veterans Day,
All the
Memorial
special
Day,
events,
Yep.
yeah.
and then break it out. Please, Mr. Hubert.
Okay.
Mr. Supervisor, Dick Hubert from Rybrook. I say this as a veteran myself. I think it would be good for you to check the American Legion and find out how many of their members are veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan and from the Gulf War. I say that because there is a distinct break in veterans from the volunteer military and the military that I served in, which was mandated, where we had a draft. The draft, American Legion better represents the draft, more people. Now that we're into a volunteer military, the veterans tend to join online organizations like IAVA, which is the Iraq-Afghanistan Veterans of America, which had its huge fundraiser this past evening and had everybody from Brian Williams of NBC to Jon Stewart of The Daily Show to help raise money. I say that because they are a web-based only veterans organization. I know the people there. They're probably the most effective veterans organization out there in fighting for veterans to get educational benefits, to be served properly by the Veterans Administration, which are two of the biggest issues that veterans have today. And the American Legion, sadly, has been missing in action over the last several years. And I think that it would behoove this council to ask some tough questions about the American Legion, how much they're doing for current vets, not from World War II, not necessarily from Korea, but from Vietnam on, especially with Iraq and Afghanistan, and to see if the money that the town is giving to the American Legion is justified given where the vets are going for help today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for those comments. Yeah, I think that's an excellent analysis, Mr. Arcaro. Mr. Nowotny, can you do that? Great. Okay.
So what is,
Can I get a vote then to grant, what did we say, $750 to the American Legion for donation for Veterans Day? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Landscaping bid.
This is the culmination of our RFP process. You'll see that we received 6 bids. Last year, I think we received 8. But there were 6 qualified bidders here, and our recommendation is Greenway. They are the lowest bidder by a fairly substantial amount. And they have been doing a good job for us. And we see no reason why we can't continue.
Any questions? No second? All in favor? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nowotny. Thanks for the hard work on that. Interim property reconveyance. See.
Okay, Honorable Town Board, this is a testament to your, I think, our TV, because people watch this on television. And at the last meeting, as you recall, this property was discussed by the board, at which time I think the people involved realized that the town was serious about taking title to the taking the possession of the property. So I would say within 48 hours of that meeting, I received a phone call from an attorney representing the former owners of the property, indicating that they would like to resolve this. So per our instructions from the board at the last meeting, we are essentially allowing them to purchase the unit back from the town for $100,000 plus $500 for the deed costs. And to do that, obviously, we will have to adopt this resolution, and we'll have this resolved before November 26th.
Wonderful. And again, I want to thank the board for, really reaching out, and Mr. Noto and Mr. Nowotny really reaching out, because it was clear that there was something amiss. So I want to thank you for all your hard work in making this happen, Mr. Mecca. Thank you so much for reaching out and making this work. Can I get a motion to approve? President, second. Take the roll, please. Hope number 4.
Sure. Collins? Mendecino? Nioras?
Aye.
Villanova? Byrnes?
Aye. Okay, Justice Court audit approval for years 2010, 11, and why don't we do 2010, 11, and 12?
The only reason why I have them separated because Cedar and Company did the 2010.
Oh, I got you, okay.
O'Connor.
Right. All right, this is pretty straightforward. We're just approving the audits. Did anybody have any questions on the audits?
No.
Okay, if not, can I get a motion to approve the said audits for the courts for 2010, 11, and 12? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Tax mapping. I'm guessing this is you, Denise. Town Assessor Knauer. Am I pronouncing your last name, please? Yes. Am I pronouncing your last name for Knauer? Sorry, I apologize.
That's perfect. Okay, we have annual tax mapping maintenance that is done by an outside company every year, and that company was Sewell in the past, and they're transitioning to a company called CAI. They're sort of partnering with them. Some of their employees have spun off into CAI because Sewell is really an engineering firm, and they want to focus more on that business. So the new contract with CAI needs to be signed, and basically they're honoring the same fee that Sewell had, and they're throwing in a few more extra services as well. So it makes sense for us to at least go with them for a year, evaluate how they're doing, and in a year from now, possibly either renew them or look at other alternatives. I know that in Peekskill, the company was MRB, and the contract ran about $935 a month, and that was $6,000.
Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
And you like their work?
It was okay. I think these guys are fine, and
Okay.
I think CAI is going to be even better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Great. Can I get a motion to approve CAI Technologies for our tax mapping?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Okay, call the roll, please, Hope.
Collins?
No, we might as well stay there. We're all, Town Assessor Knauer. Apologize. I had it. Because they're all years, I think the next 2
Aye.
years. So.
Mendecino? Nioras?
Aye.
Villanova?
Our street
Yes.
for
Okay, so we have a
certiorari
certiorari here, Pat Golo versus Town of Rock. Can you just walk us through this?
Yeah, basically.
Why
this
are
is
we,
some
why is it
by
residential
which,
property?
It could be because it's non-owner occupied. It's It's not entitled to SCAR or maybe they have an attorney they deal with, and they just have to file it that way.
And you think that you're happy with the,
I don't know all the details behind it, but it seems fine. Yeah, it's pretty much a low-key case.
okay. Mr. Noto, what about you?
Yeah, I think Aldo handled this one, and we did discuss it, and we think it's fair under the circumstances. It's not a particularly large house, it's a pretty small house, I think, and it is rented out.
I have a picture.
It's not his residence, because his residence.
That's the reason.
If this were his residence, he would be, no, I don't know if you know where he lives, but he has probably the most beautiful home in Westchester County, right on the water next to the yacht club, and it's a huge piece of property. So this is not his house.
It's not on that.
That I can assure.
Okay, any comments,
Makes
questions
sense.
from the board?
No.
Got a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Okay, please call the roll.
Collins,
Aye.
Mendecino, Nioras,
Aye.
Villanova, Carvin.
Aye. All right, and finally, you want to hire Evaluation Plus for a certiorari?
Yeah, we'd like to at least get the approval for the appraisal so that if we need to move forward with it, we'll have it ready to go. If we aren't able to settle the matter beforehand.
Okay, now what I'd like to do is, could you organize a meeting with Mr. Noto, myself, and if the other attorneys, or at least by phone, if not in person? I want to go, again, through the outstanding certiorari that we have. I want to evaluate. I think Mr. Arcar, you did some work on this. We want to anticipate. We want to be proactive, and so we just haven't had a chance since you come on board to do that. So I want to really, with Town Assessor Knauer here in situ, I want to continue our robust defense of our property values and really anticipate as much as we can, so that we can, we've had a pretty good track record so far in court, and I want to only improve on that now that you're here. So I just want to go through them, the ones that are outstanding. So we can just organize a meeting to do that.
Okay, sure.
And Maria from my office has been spending extra hours updating our tax cert spreadsheet as well.
Oh, wonderful.
So we're really getting that in order.
Well, would you coordinate with Mr. Arcar, because we have some,
Yes,
we have this, okay, you have, okay.
Yeah, we
So
met,
you
the
okay.
attorney, we had a preliminary meeting to
Okay.
go over some of the cases that are coming down the
They
pipe.
purposely didn't invite me to that meeting.
That was preliminary.
They knew it was, but, great, okay, any questions about Valuation Plus for 14 University Place, Port Chester? Is this a residential?
No.
No.
Part of
it's
it.
not-
Oh, the whole complex?
The garden
I
part.
think you asked that question.
Please.
There's no price. So it's just like-
Oh.
It's in accordance with the schedule. I didn't pull that up.
Oh, it's approved back in
Yeah, there is
2010.
an approved schedule.
Oh, okay.
By the way, but again, I don't want you to hire them formally until we've had a chance to sit down and talk.
That's fine, yeah. It's just that to get an appraisal, we just have to plan
No, I
6
understand
to
that.
8 weeks just to be prepared. So
Well, right, so then, just to be clear, so what I like to do before we hire an appraiser, I want to, and I'll sit down and I'll show you the kind of information I like to see. I want to see what value we're at, what value they're at, what information they've given us. And if they haven't given us any information, then I want to have a conversation with them before we do anything.
Absolutely.
Because, well, in fact, now, as of this year, they won't be able to have a situation where they haven't given us any
I was just
information.
going to ask if they've submitted their,
They have to, otherwise they would have had a 3% penalty. We got 100% compliance on that, right? So
that should be interesting to look at.
so you'll have at least the last year's, and what I'm, and I want to look at this, I really want to look at these very closely, because if they're, again, they say the value of the property is $1 million and they're earning $300,000 a year in profit on it, well, we know that the value of the property is not $1 million. And then I want them to come in front of the public here and tell them, look them into the camera and tell them that even though that they're generating $300,000 a year in income, the property's only worth $1 million, because that's when Mr. Nowotny is going to tell them that, and Mr. Noda going to tell them that they're stealing, our school children's school fees. So I just want to look at it just to see where we are, especially in light of the hard work we did this year to get this information coming in. Great. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution H for Valuation Plus at the said rate, at the standard rate? Second?
Second.
Vote.
Collins?
Yes.
Mendecino? Nioras?
Aye.
Carvin.
Okay, we have you standing there. It was time. Do you have any reports for us, Town Assessor Knauer?
Well, Star is still in the news. I don't know, the most recent thing you may have heard is that the governor was warning people that there are solicitations offering a fee to help people apply for Star when you can do it for free. So anyhow, you just need to be aware of that.
And when's the deadline by which you have to apply?
Well, the deadline to apply for Star initially is May 1st every year. May 1st, 2014. Now, the registration program that New York State is implementing the deadline for that is December 31st of this year. And I checked with Albany, and as of November 5th, we are at 58% compliance, or the residents are, and Westchester County as a whole was at 57%, and the state is at 62%. And the reason basically that Westchester is lagging behind is because we were the last community, the last area that was sent the registration notices. Now, just a couple of key points. Again, that if you just purchased a home, you still need to apply for Basic Star from the get-go. If there's a letter in the mailbox addressed to resident, you may be tempted to register that way, but as a new homeowner, you have to apply for Star the first time. So that's really important, because if you don't, there's a possibility you could lose out if you're just going through the registration process. Because again, New York State has sent it out to homeowner or resident. So there could be some confusion there. The homeowner moved out, the new resident is in, and they're opening the mail, and they may not be quite sure what to do with it. Again, seniors who receive Enhanced Star and the senior citizen exemption are not affected, but they must continue to reapply for the Enhanced Star annually or participate in the New York State Income Verification Program. The way to register, the best way to register is online through www.tax.ny.gov. If you have any problems, you can call them at 518-457-2036. This is not a process that is done through the assessment office, but if anybody's having any problems, we'll be happy to help them. And in fact, there were a couple of co-op owners who called New York State. New York State could not find them. We went into the registration, we found them, we printed out their registration numbers, they were very happy, and then they went home to register. The New York State Tax Department will send homeowners who will be denied the exemption letters. It says December and January, but I would imagine it's going to be January or February. They say in February they'll give assessors a list of whose star would be removed. And so that's the update on Star.
Great. Anything else? You settling in?
Settling
Everything
in.
good?
Everything's good.
Don't hesitate to call on us if you need any support or help, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thanks for... Great. Okay, Mr. Byrnes? Nothing? Okay. Honorable Mr. Mecca?
No report.
No report today. Okay. No taxes due? Nothing?
Not
That
yet.
time of year?
Next month.
Next month. Okay, you're everybody at home, you're good.
Yeah, a couple of-
It's a free month. No taxes this month.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving, then the bill will come.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving, but don't spend too much, then the bill will come. Terrific.
Big one, too, I think.
Town Clerk Vespia?
I do have a report.
Please, good.
I'm noticing the budget and for 2013, actual revenues were $15,000. And looking at my report, we're as of October 31st, we've taken in 21,000. So
Oh.
2 more months to go. So we've
Fantastic.
exceeded the anticipation of our revenues.
Excellent.
And
And
I'd
so
like
what do you
to,
attribute that to?
a lot of hard work.
There you go. Yeah,
There you go.
good.
Because that's a lot of transactions.
Exactly, I gotta say, yeah.
And furthermore, after...
It's a lot of weddings.
No, not so. It's
I'm
dog
joking.
licenses and a lot of marriage certificates because it's required in all states now. When people want to renew their driver's license, they have to contact the municipality where they originally got their marriage license. And we get constant
Do
requests.
you charge for that?
We have, yes, it's a $10 fee. And
Can
so-
we?
Increase it.
Yes, I do want to, yes, can we, is there any restriction on what we can
Oh, I
charge?
think it was a decision, it's a state decision, yeah, because it says right on the marriage request form.
And the
I'll look into
the
it.
Ride-Town surcharge? No, I don't want to be, but at the end of the day,
So that's been increased quite a bit. Another thing I'd like to mention, a few years back, I don't know if you're aware of it, you probably are, we met with, maybe Paul was at that meeting and Greg Carroll, and all the certs get filed in my office. And this year we scanned I did the certioraries. I scanned every cert, indexed it, and then prepared the spreadsheet. We've always done the spreadsheet, but now we have them scanned, and I'm willing to take all the years together and scan them.
oh,
And Linda did
fantastic.
the scars, so we worked hard.
Oh, beautiful, wow, fantastic. Down, there we go.
Look at Greg smiling back
Yeah,
there.
right.
He's so excited.
Greg was
did a great job.
pleasantly surprised me. So
That's
That's
great.
incredible. Oh,
Well,
so
that's
was Denise.
Yeah,
beautiful.
that really helps, so we can cross-reference it. We have everything.
so so
Oh,
easy to
great. So
access
what-
everything and
Double check.
you're not digging
Wonderful.
through files.
Beautiful. And of course, then we'll have that information, the I&E information with it. We can, that's going to make your job a lot easier, town assessor.
And I'm scanning stuff as I go.
Great. Oh, beautiful.
But
Wonderful.
now,
Thanks for that hard
we
work.
all have that shared, it's on the shared drive. And
Is that right?
We all have access to the scans.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Great.
That's great.
Oh, can I
21st
just
century,
say-
here we come.
Right. And can I say one more thing?
Please, absolutely.
I just wanted to thank every person for their support in our community. I thank you for re-electing me.
Oh, yes.
Confidence.
Thank
Not to
you.
bring politics in. but
No,
I'm
it's
very
not politics at all. I think you've been crossing doors for 2 decades now, haven't you? You've been...
More than that.
Exactly. Well,
But, I'm grateful. I really am, and I really, it's a blessing for me to serve this community.
well,
So thank you.
We're so lucky to have you, the entire community.
it's a blessing for us to have you serving the community. And I'm confident that everyone out there feels the same way I do. So thank you for all your hard work, your dedication. We're very fortunate to have you as our town clerk. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Noto.
Nothing new to report other than that one in REMS, so we're moving
What
along
about
on the
the,
in-REMS.
when do they,
December 20th is the deadline, so another 6 weeks.
and how many are we down to?
Only 2 have paid, so we have quite a few
Wow.
outstanding, but they all come down to the wire.
When are you doing your movie on this?
We've been doing this a long time, Nick and I, so.
Are we gonna get them? I mean, well.
Yeah, I think
We got another 18, 20 out, right? No?
16, yeah. I think most will pay by the deadline.
All right.
They've almost all called. and
Yeah,
contacted.
okay. All right, good. Crawford Park, Mr. Nwanek, do we have a valuation, do we have a stair?
We don't
Stairs?
have, we don't have a stair, and we still don't have gas,
I was just,
but we're close. But we are close. The bid documents went out last week for the repairs to the gas line. We were successful at negotiating with Con Ed to have them meet us halfway, so to speak. So they're going to extend the gas line at the end of Betsy Brown Road, where Betsy Brown Road comes into the park. And consequently, that will lower the cost tremendously. In addition, the specifications were approved by Con Ed to do the sleeving procedure. In that regard, where we have an existing 3-inch pipe, we are now going to feed in, we'll 1.25 plastic pipe, so this way we don't have to dig up 600 to 700 feet of park. The responses are due back on November 22nd, and I'm told that the job on our side of the equation, if you will, in other words, the job within the park, is less than a week's work. So